if there is any subject in UPSC that consistently rewards your discipline, effort, and logic, then it's polity. See, the other subjects, they throw random questions, random surprises, right? Whether it is economy or history, no need to talk about science and technology, but polity is beautifully predictable. So if you see its syllabus is finite and its logic is also very clearly defined and quantified, and if you master it once, it stays with you forever. Only thing is that you need to be updated with the current affairs, but the backward linkage is the same, right? And once you study this, it's not just for prelims, for mains, your interview, and your life as an administrator also, it's going to be useful. So what we'll do today is we'll decode how can you study polity in the most effective way, and how can you extract maximum out of Laxmikanth, and how you're going to score 90% or more accuracy in polity just by following precise and evidence-based strategy. So buckle up and then write the notes. What we are going to discuss will definitely help you to, solve 90% of the polity questions with ease. Okay. So now, why polity is the most scoring subject? Think about it. Every year, easily 12 to 15 questions, sometimes even 20 questions came from polity directly. That means easy 25 to 30 marks are sitting right here for you. Remember, sometimes the cutoff is 80. Here you have 25 to 30 marks directly from predictable area, right? And the others, unpredictable. Answer options also will be difficult. Even after writing the exam also, it's difficult to get whether that's the correct answer. So here, that's not the case. This 25 to 30 mark, easily predictable. Now, the question is, why is it such a gold mine? As I told you, the syllabus is finite, very clear and well defined. And the questions are conceptual. Once you know the concept, the governor, the president, the parliament, then it's very easy and it's not obscure, right? And UPSC have touched every part of the constitution at least once if you take from 1979. And the ratio of the effort to return, the cost benefit analysis, right? The effort that I'm putting in and what I get out of it, it's much higher than any other subject, whether I compare it with history or economy. I read that Nitin Singhania, culture, right? The effort, the cost benefit analysis I do, I get it better here. So if you follow a structured plan, then polity is going to be the safest and easiest section with which you can score that 30 marks easily when it comes to prelims, and you can, half the battle, I would say, it's done. So if you are very good in polity and economy, then you are done almost 60% in your prelims. Okay, now what's the core of preparation? It's the constitution. Your foundation is the Constitution of India, every article, schedule, and the concepts. So what book you need to choose? I would say Laxmikanth, only Laxmikanth, simplified, student friendly, not like book. So it's Indian Polity by Laxmikanth. Now, if you want to, addition to this, but I always prefer only one book. That's enough because that helps you to read, revise, repeat, reproduce. You can also refer, in case required, D.D. Basu, Introduction to the Constitution of India. That's analytical but dense. And then Subhash Kashyap, our Constitution or our Parliament, that's authentic commentary. But for me, as a student who's preparing for the exam, then you just need to look at Laxmikanth, which covers everything which is required for you. So you can pick any one of this, but I would say go with Laxmikanth, finish it thoroughly, read it 3, 4, 5 times, as many times as possible, keep revising it. Policy doesn't reward collecting the sources. For that matter, any other subject also, it's the same. It rewards finishing the source multiple times. Reading one book 5 times is always the best strategy. So cover all the constitutional bodies like Election Commission, UPSC, Comptroller and Auditor General, Finance Commission, Attorney General, cover everything. And remember every single part of the Constitution, right? Because that's very important and it's very easy also. Because if you see, UPSC have asked questions from every single part of the Constitution. So you remember every single part of the Constitution. Or if you can keep that in mind, then you won't ignore also. There is no area which should be left behind when it comes to Constitution. So they have asked, if you see the pattern from 1979, every single part of the Constitution, they have asked questions. Every single part of the Constitution is equally important. Okay, now, if you go beyond constitutional, there are extra constitutional bodies, right? UPSC also allows to test your awareness on statutory and executive institutions that basically lie outside the constitution, non-constitutional or extra constitutional bodies. But from the, they are actually not part of the constitution, but they form real machinery of governance, very important for the functioning of or the governance part. So what are the important areas like Central Vigilance Commission, CVC? You need to know its structure, power. See, guys, I'm just telling you what to study and how to study. So we are not going to discuss what exactly CVC here. So I'll just discuss the topic only so that it makes sense, right? Okay. So CVC, a Central Vigilance Commission, CBI, like it's created under the Delhi Police Establishment Act 1946, and you should be knowing the act and its control. This was asked in mains also. And the human right bodies like NHRC, National Commission for Women, National Commission for Minorities, National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights. Then apart from that, information commissions like the basics of RTI Act 2005, Lokpal, Lok Ayuta Act, and 2013, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. These are like India's own, ombudsman system. Then the consumer disputes redressal commissions, like district, the state, national hierarchy under the new act, and the Nidhi Ayog, the composition, aims, difference from, planning commission. That these are asked in mains also before. Prime Minister's office, the structure and the coordination role, central secretariat and the cabinet secretariat, who does what, you should be knowing. Cabinet committees, what are the types, what's its significance. Enforcement Directorate, ED, you see ED news everywhere, but what exactly it is, and it's work under Finance Ministry, right? And the laws related to it, you should be knowing. PMLA, right? And then FEMA related laws. And then, DRI, Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, its ministry, its mandate. See, almost every year, at least one of these areas appears directly or indirectly in prelims. So very few areas which are like extra constitutional bodies study all these, the composition, the structure, the functioning, the types, the significance, then the ministry, the mandate. Then it is going to be very easy to cover that area and that particular question. Now, the most important part, the real scoring edge, that's the current affairs in polity. You see, unlike other subjects, right? Even when it comes to polity, the current affairs are very much structured and predictable. You only need to track three domains, right? What are the latest Supreme Court judgment, especially the constitutional bench, if it is there. And you can see latest bills and acts, whether passed or pending, and the major government decisions that's affecting constitutional or statutory bodies. But the secret that the most student misses, UPSC rarely ask about the current event itself. It basically tests the background of that. That's what I mean by the backward linkage. So you read about something, you read about governor's power, right? And then related governor's power related disputes, if there is any state related issues there, go back to governor, see who's appointing, what's the role, etc. What are the different commissions? Okay, so that's what I mean by the concept of backward linkage. So whenever you study or a current affair or any particular event that comes in the news, you have to trace its constitutional or legal roots. So you have read that in the newspaper or your current affair magazine, trace it back to your Laxmikanth, read the concepts, cover it. So 2022 amendment, the flag code amendment. So what students will do is they memorize the new rules about the polyester flags. But what UPSC asked, what is the correct length and breadth ratio of the Indian flag? And answer was 3:2. That's from the Flag Code of India 2002. So we need the backward linkage. That is there in the news. So we need to see and read everything related to that. Another example, Russia-Ukraine conflict. So the headline topic here is war. But what was the question? Which countries are members of NATO? Because NATO is coming in the news. So always study the organization or treaty behind any global issue if there is an international issue. Then another example, delimitation, 2026 census link. So it's likely a future question. Like when was the first delimitation commission formed? Who cleared or who chaired it? And when was the freeze imposed? So this is what I mean by backward linkage. Another example, if I want to give deputy speaker vacancy related news, the post is vacant for almost 6 years. So what is the question? Who was the first deputy speaker of? I'm saying this could be the question that they can. It's not necessarily about that event which comes in the news. It's connected to that. You need to know the concepts, the logic, and everything, right? So question could be, so there is something which is related to the news, right? Deputy Speaker. So they may ask you who's the first Deputy Speaker of India, which Deputy Speaker later became the Speaker. These kinds of questions they can ask. Similarly, a 2022 presidential election. What is the event? Event was what is there in the news? It was the election of president. So what could be the question here? You need to go back to Laxmikanth, study everything. The question could be value of vote of an MLA of Kerala is higher than that of Madhya Pradesh, true or false? So you need to know what the value and how it is calculated, how the state-wise distribution, everything you need to know. So it's basically, linked to Article 55 and 1971 census figures. So UPSC test your grasp of concept beneath these news. So you think, people think that news is important, event is important. So I read the current affairs, it covers everything. If the current affair magazine, which you're reading is like the one which we are giving to you, then the news is there. Along with that, backward linkage is also there. Or if the test series that you're following on current affairs that we are giving it to you, in the solution, you will see the news is there. Along with that, the backward linkage is also there. So that is the way you need to prepare. So always move from headline to law to the concept to the article. That's how you should be finishing it off. Cool. Now, next is India Yearbook. Students normally miss India Yearbook. There are some topics, some chapters which are extremely important, some for history, some for culture, some for polity, one for science and technology. So extremely important chapters is at least a summary you should be reading. And many toppers also ignore this, but 5 to 7 questions every year comes directly from there. For polity relevant preparation, if you see, there are 4 core chapters. Like there is one chapter on national symbols and then polity, and then there is a chapter on law and justice, and there is a chapter on finance. See, of course, reading this whole book is ideal, but at least these 4 will ensure that full coverage of bodies like ED, Enforcement Directorate, or DRI, or Finance Commission, etc. is covered in that way also. There are some other chapters which are relevant for other subjects that I'll discuss along with the other subjects. So here we are focusing on polity. So these 4 chapters: national symbols, polity, law and justice, and finance. Cool. Now, do you want to read NCERT? I told you already, Laxmikanth is there. But again, if you want to, let me tell you, you don't want to underestimate class 11, 12 political science NCERT. They take barely 10-15 days to finish and help the conceptual questions like which statement best describes the meaning of liberty? What is the essence of equality in a democracy? So if you want to do it before you start with your Laxmikanth, so that you get that familiarity, and then Laxmikanth reading will be easy. Otherwise, stick to Laxmikanth, that's perfectly fine. These concepts anyway will be covered in that. But here directly you will be getting that linkage in much easier way. So such questions comes straight directly from these political theory chapters. So how can you study? Like you can spend 2-3 hours a day. One book you can complete in 3 days. It's a small +2 book, right? So simply underline the important ideas and no need to have the separate notes or anything. And revise the highlighted areas before your mocks and before the actual exam. So see, the points that I've discussed, finish one good source on the Constitution end to end. Simply follow Laxmikanth, read it, revise it multiple times, solve questions, mocks, and then write answers, and then go for the test. You also need to cover extra constitutional bodies and the statutory bodies. Very important. They used to ask questions from that. Then when it comes to polity, you track the judgments, important bills, and the important decisions. Not only that event, but also its background. Go through that and complete backward linkage. And then 4 chapters of India Yearbook, which I have discussed. And if possible, 11th and 12th NCERTs just for the basic concepts. In case if they're asking concepts, you should not get stuck just for that. Other than that, just revise, revise, revise. So if you do this, out of 12, 15, maybe 20 questions if they're asking, you will answer at least 90% with 90% accuracy, and you'll be getting around 30 marks, 25 to 30 marks easily you will get. That's a big difference between clearing or missing prelims. So guys, polity is not just a subject and you should not treat it like any other subject. It's a language of governance. You will live with this as an officer also in future. And this subject is going to help you and immensely reward you, and this give you that best cost benefit ratio. So when you read about, the rights or the powers and the institutions, you're not just studying for the marks. Actually, you're learning the grammar of administration. So that is why UPSC gives such level of importance for this subject. So approach polity with curiosity and not fear. It's finite, it's logical, and it's going to be your strongest ally when it comes to your prelims. That I can guarantee. If you're strong in polity, you will get more accuracy. So guys, stay consistent and stay analytical, and always remember, you don't want to study everything. You just have to study the right things, but deeply. Cool. So that's about this session. Thank you so much. Now, if you're looking for any mentorship or classes on this GS or sociology, get in touch with us. Our team will help you. See you guys.